About 7 years ago, after being divorced for 2 years, I met someone special. Her name is Katie. She was in the middle of a divorce from her abusive, physically and mentally husband. We started getting to know each other. We went out to breakfast and met at the park. We texted and talked on the phone daily. I began to fall in love with her. Then she felt she couldn't leave her husband. I'm not sure if it was fear or not. I didn't ask. I respected her choice even though I didn't agree with it. I didn't want to pressure her to make a decision based on me. Hearing what she had been through, she didn't need any stress from me. I told her I would always be there for her no matter where or when. 7 long years went by. During the time, my ex-wife was diagnosed with Crohn's and got very ill. I moved back in with her to take care of my son and help her while she recovered. I wound up living in the basement. Fast forward to the last few months. My ex-wife was healthier and was self-sufficient. I was thanked for my assistance with cruel and heartless words, being treated like an employee. I decided I had enough, and it was time to begin my life again. Over time, I lost self-confidence and hated what I saw in the mirror. I felt like I'd never be loved again. I'd never be with someone who cared about me. I decided to sign up for Bumble. Not because I wanted to rush into anything. I did it because I wanted to see if someone else saw in me what I didn't see in myself. After a few days of swiping, I saw a smile that I never expected to see again. A smile that years ago lit up my world and made everything different. It was her. It was Katie, the one that got away. I immediately swiped right, hoping she hadn't abandoned her account, praying she'd send a message. A few hours later, a notification appeared on my phone. New message from Katie. My heart skipped enough beats to make me lightheaded. All I kept thinking was that fate had brought her back to me. She had left her husband and lived even closer now. Most important of all, she hadn't forgotten me. We arranged to meet that day in the park before she went to work, and we met again the next night for a movie at the drive-in. We have picked up right where we left off, with nothing holding either of us back now. Fate brought us back together when it was the right time for both of us. Is it love? I don't want to use that word too soon. I'd say there is something there. 37 years on this earth, and I think I've found the one.
Once upon a time, in the small town of Willowbrook, there were 2 teenagers named Ethan and Emily. They were both students at Willowbrook High School, where they crossed paths every day, but never exchanged more than a few glances and shy smiles. Little did they know that their lives were about to intertwine in a beautiful way. Ethan was a talented artist with a gentle soul. His sketchbook was filled with intricate drawings, capturing the essence of the world around him. Emily, on the other hand, was a kind-hearted girl who possessed a love for literature and a captivating smile that could brighten even the gloomiest of days. Their paths finally converged during an art club meeting. Ethan had joined to showcase his artwork, and Emily had recently become a member to explore her creative side. Naturally, on the first day they didn't know where to sit, so they ended up sitting alongside one another. As they sat next to each other, engrossed in their respective projects, a subtle connection began to grow. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, as their bond slowly deepened. Ethan couldn't help but find solace in Emily's presence, while Emily cherished every moment they spent together. Every day they would be together in one way or another, walking each other to class and especially meeting together during lunch. Their respective friends teased them for how intimate and close they were to each other. Ethan's friend James told him to just skip beating around the bush and tell her how he really feels. While Emily's friend Clara knew her friend on the inside was harboring a strong sense of love for Ethan. However, they both carried a deep fear of rejection and were hesitant to confess their feelings, afraid of the consequences it might bring. One sunny afternoon, as the school bell rang, signaling the end of the day, Ethan mustered the courage to invite Emily for a walk by the nearby lake. Surrounded by the tranquil beauty of nature, their hearts raced with anticipation, Emily blushing red as a rose. The gentle breeze played with Emily's hair, and the soft sound of rippling water filled the air. They strolled along the path, their steps perfectly in sync, until Ethan paused near a picturesque gazebo. Ethan broke the silence. Before my dad passed away, he told me this is where he met my mom. He said it was so romantic here, like it was made for the soul. Taking a deep breath, he turned towards Emily, his voice trembling with nervousness. Emily, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for a while now, Ethan said, his eyes filled with earnestness. Emily's heart skipped a beat, but she managed to smile softly and replied, What is it? Taking her hands in his, Ethan looked into Emily's eyes and said, "Emily, I've admired you from afar for so long. Your kindness, your laughter, your incredible spirit, they've captured my heart. I can't imagine going another day without telling you, but I'm in love with you, Emily." Time seemed to stand still as Emily absorbed Ethan's words. Her eyes welled up with tears of joy, and a radiant smile spread across her face. "You have no idea how long I've waited to hear those words," Emily whispered, her voice filled with emotion, smiling wide and blushing even more. "I love you too, more than words can express." In that moment, their fears and hesitations melted away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of joy and contentment. They embraced each other, their hearts entwined, and vowed to embark on a beautiful journey together. From that day forward, Ethan and Emily became inseparable. They shared countless laughs, dreams, and experiences, blossoming into a love that was cherished not only by them but by their friends and the entire community of Willowbrook. Their love story taught them the importance of taking risks and the beauty that lay in vulnerability. It showed them that sometimes true happiness can only be found by overcoming their fears and embracing the love that was meant for them. And so, Ethan and Emily's love story continued to unfold as they navigated the ups and downs of high school and beyond, always grateful for the day they found the courage to confess their love and become an extraordinary couple in the world of ordinary romances. One eventful summer in a bustling city, a young man named Caden embarked on a new chapter of his life. After bidding farewell to his childhood home, he moved into a charming apartment building with the hope of starting afresh. He was optimistic about what lay ahead. Little did he know that destiny had an extraordinary plan in store for him. As Caden carried his belongings up the stairs to his new abode, he caught a glimpse of a beautiful girl with long flowing hair stepping out of the apartment opposite his. Her eyes met his, and a warm smile adorned her face. She was gorgeous. However, Caden couldn't help but feel a sense of familiarity, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. Over the next few days, Caden settled into his apartment and eagerly explored his new surroundings. He discovered quaint cafes, picturesque parks, and vibrant street art that breathed life into the neighborhood. He knew that he was going to love it here. However, what captivated his heart the most was the girl he had seen across the hall. Caden was hooked on her. Curiosity stirred within him, and one day, Caden mustered up the courage to knock on her door. The door swung open, and there she stood, the girl he couldn't get out of his head. "Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I just moved in and all." My name's Caden," Caden nervously said. He was the confident kind, but she was making Caden flustered like nothing else before. "Oh, I see. I'm Lily. It's nice to meet you." She offered him a handshake, smiling. "Welcome to the apartment. I guess we'll be seeing each other a lot, huh?" Lily said, lightly giggling. She had an infectious warmth that instantly put Caden at ease. He stood there admiring for just a second, but felt like an eternity to him. "Yeah, I moved out of my hometown, got a new job at the bank, just wanted to start afresh and all." Caden replied, "Oh, no way, I moved here recently too. I work downtown at the Stratton and Blackwell firm," Lily said. "Oh, you're a lawyer," Caden said, surprised, smiling back at her. "I sure am," Lily replied, blushing. "Where did you say your hometown was?" Lily asked, curious if he traveled far. "I lived in Fairhaven, like 80 miles from here, was there my whole life, until now." Caden laughed. "Oh, wow, Fairhaven. I used to live there too." "Don't tell me we went to the same school," Lily said, completely shocked. "Whoa, that is so weird," Caden returned. "I went to Haven Middle and High School." "Oh my God, stop, I did too," Lily replied, mouth agape. Both were shocked to learn they had crossed paths before, but never talked to each other. Caden had recognized her from the few times he saw her throughout middle and high school. They continued talking about their past, about the teachers they hated, and the funny moments that went down at Haven High. Eventually, Caden went back to his apartment. "Well, Lily, it was nice meeting you again." They laughed together at the huge coincidence they had just realized. "It was lovely meeting you too, again." Lily smiled wide, resting her head on the door. They waved each other goodbye as Lily shut her door. What she didn't realize was that Caden was falling deeply attracted to her. He couldn't stop imagining things with her as he went about his day. It was inevitable that a connection was starting. As the weeks passed by, Caden and Lily found themselves crossing paths regularly. They would exchange playful banter in the hallway every morning, share stories over cups of coffee, and steal glances that spoke volumes. The seeds of a deep connection began to take root. Their encounters grew more intentional, and each interaction felt like a dance between two souls discovering love for the first time. They started exploring the city together, strolling through parks and marveling at the city lights illuminating the night sky. With every passing moment, their affection for one another blossomed. Lily couldn't stop blushing when she was next to Caden. Caden and Lily discovered shared interests and dreams, finding solace in each other's company. Their conversations transitioned from lighthearted to profound as they delved into their fears, aspirations, and experiences. Together, they formed a bond that transcended the boundaries of mere neighbors. One evening, under a sky of stars, Caden mustered the courage to reveal his long-standing affection for Lily. With shaky hands and a heart overflowing with love, he confessed his feelings. "I want to say something to you, Lily," he began. "You're different. You're special to me. I just feel something with you that I can't feel with anyone else." His heart was trembling. He took her hand, looked her in the eye, and said, "I love you." Lily was stunned but breathed out and looked down, before looking back into Caden's eyes. "I love you too, Caden. I feel the same way," Lily exclaimed with tears in her eyes. From that day they got together, never leaving each other's side. We never know when coincidence becomes fate,